Bay, turn it up real smooth now. Schoolie, shooter, let it ride. Let it ride. Red light on, mic stay hot. Schoolie talk slick, shooter take shots. From puck drop takes to late night laughs. Lightning talk with that funky flash. No scripts, nah, just truth and tone. Thunder in the wires, Tampa grown. When Schoolie speaks, better lean in close. When shooter fires, everybody knows we the thunder. Feel that sound, bassline thick, make it bounce around. Port that funk, hit play instead. Tampa Bay, all damn day. Benchmark arena, feel that sway. Boats on ice, let them skate that way. Say it loud, let the whole world know. Lightning hockey, we the thunder. Shooters games, late night grind. Hype in the chat, still sharp on the mic. Schoolie cool, call it like it is. Break down plays, don't miss a shift. Coots with the sauce, point and flight. Fastest slam doors every night. Who got the take? Who bring the heat? Shooter. From the couch to the rink, say it with your chest. See that thunder, funk it out. Clap your hands, let the speaker shout. Benchmark rockin', Tampa Bay, blue and white. All damn day from the season grind to the go home blow. It's lightning hockey. We the thunder. We the thunder. We the thunder. Woo. We the thunder. Hey, hey. We the thunder. We the thunder.
I don't hear you, Shooter.
Welcome to, once again, we, the Thunder. My name is Robert Shute. My good friends call me Shooter. You can too, even you, Thomas Schooley. And that is my co-host, Mr. Thomas Schooley. I call him the Professor.
Who knew that I was going to go a little bit deaf?
Nobody knew that, Schooley. Nobody knew you were going to go a little bit deaf. Guess what? We made it. This is the last regular season show. We've got a game next Wednesday, the last regular season game at the arena. So we will not be live. We made it all season once again, and we've also clinched the playoffs. So real quick spoiler, in about 10 minutes, we are going to have a toast to celebrate the Tampa Bay Lightning making the playoffs. Promise I will let Thomas Schooley speak. But before I do, we got a special guest this week, and we've got to bring him on immediately. And we'll bring him on with the lightning strike because you've seen him on your televisions. Tampa Bay 28, Sean Daly is
Guys, I love it.
the house.
Guys, I'm still dancing to that intro. I love it. Who did that for you? That's amazing.
James Brown. The show.
Oh my gosh, that pumped me up. I love it. We the Thunder. Woo! Very exciting,
sir.
guys. Thanks for having me.
So, hey, we are happy to have you. We've got to spill the beans on something.
Spill the beans all over.
We had you in the Shooter Dome yesterday. Some people noticed, like, hey, why'd you guys go live for like 1 second on Tuesday? I'll let you share because this is your thing and you allowed us to be part of it. So tell the people what we did yesterday.
Yeah, I was honored to be in the S-Dome, man. I loved it. I felt like I was on hallowed grounds, right? So I'm like the fun guy on Tampa Bay 28, ABC. You know, I'm part of the morning show, but they show my stuff all day long. And I do something called the Lightning Fan Zone, right? So every week I do a cool story on a different Lightning fan. And there was a woman a herpetologist at the Florida Aquarium, and she handles all the snakes. And so she's a huge Lightning fan. So I interviewed her. She was in a point jersey with a boa constrictor around her. Like, anyway, all walks of life. So I needed two super handsome fellas to do a Lightning Fan Zone on. You and I have been talking on Instagram a little bit. And yeah, we're doing the home and away, baby, tomorrow night, Thursday night, 5 p.m., ABC Tampa Bay 28. These two handsome fellas right there. It's like the Brady Bunch, right? They'll be on your TVs. It's great. When I'm done here with you guys, I'll finish the edit. And you're brilliant. We really wanted to talk about, and what I'm always digging into each week is why the Lightning are so, listen, people love the Bucks, people love the Rays, but the Lightning people are so incredibly passionate about to a religious fervor, right? And you guys have, I don't want to spoil it for people, tune in and watch, but you guys had really great takes about why that is, and yeah, you're brilliant and you're handsome and I loved it. I love being there with you. I love smelling your musk. Thanks again for having me.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, it was fun to do. Usually I'm the one like, oh, I don't want to do anything extra. I don't want to go on TV. Schoolie sees a camera, sees a microphone, huge whore. And that happens, and he's all over it. Like I said, like, let me see if Schoolie can come up within seconds. He's like, I'll be there at 10 a.m.
Yeah.
My OnlyFans don't pay for itself, okay?
That's right.
I got to find a way to pimp me out somehow.
I subscribe to your OnlyFans, and when you do that thing with that leg over your head, I'm like, how is he so limber? It was amazing.
You should see the feet pics.
That's where you make the money.
That's right.
That's where the money's at.
$10 per toe.
Schoolie, you and I, that was kind of like a sequel for us. How many years ago did we do that first story for ABC on Thunderbolts, your fan club?
It was like 2 or 3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And then I'm like, hey, I need him back on TV. My ratings are low. I need Schoolie to up my ratings. The Brad Pitt feet OnlyFans factor. So thanks for that,
Listen, I did hear after that last one that it was one of the most watched links when we did the Thunderbolts one, because we had posted it in the group, and Julian, your old producer, said that link had been, it was one of the highest watched stories.
Yeah.
Through the link, and it was a great thing about Thunderbolts and the money that we raise for different charities and stuff like that. And then it was great to have this side of it, the podcast side, because Shooter and I now 6 years. Next episode's going to be our huge 250th. So it's good. Shooter now is into the limelight and is like, okay, I'll do it.
Look at Shooter. He's so handsome. He kind of has a Trent Reznor 9 Inch Nails thing going on. He's a good-looking guy. You guys got to get out there. I like it. Now, the real reason I came on, so home and away, and I'm shameless about this, I use Lightning games as a main dating tool, guys. I have tickets. I have tickets to the Mark on Monday night. I'm asking all your audience. I don't have a date. I am looking for a date. So shameless plug. Hit me up on Sean Daly TV on Instagram. It's right on there. Female. Hey, listen. Free to be you and me, man. Whatever happens, happens. In the S Dome, anything can happen.
It's unlimited drinks in the Mark. So
yeah,
I know.
It's not Schoolie's seats. This is the Mark. So not a bad offer. So if you're out there watching, that's Monday night. He's got the handle right there at Sean Daly TV.
A day with Sean Daly. Oh man, what could possibly go wrong?
Nothing could go wrong. But yeah, no, thanks for coming by. It was fun to do. We really just started this year trying to get people to watch and listen to the show. We just did it for ourselves before that. But no, it's been fun this year because people are really finding out about us. And who's really found out about us is Buffalo Sabres fans. Man, they do not like us. I'm like, where have you guys been the last 16 years? Because it kind of is very similar to the Florida Panthers fans. 3 years ago, they didn't exist. And then these Buffalo fans have been in hibernation for 16 years. And man, they are all over our ets whenever we post anything. So it's good. I like having.
Let me ask you guys about that. So, Buffalo Bills fans jumping on tables, a rabid fan base. But also insane when you run into a Bills fan. Who's more rabid, Sabres fans or Bills fans? What do you think?
Bills.
They're all the same, essentially.
That is true. That is true.
they were jumping. They do the table jumps, right? Not very smart, by the way. But I guess when you're full of beer and it's 2 degrees outside and you're going to a football game, why not? But Buffalo, we played them on Monday. We lost, but they hate Brandon Hagel, and
They
it's
had a punching bag
yes,
with
that's
his
what I was
face
getting
on
to.
it.
They put together this kid's punching bag, right? Weight at the bottom, and then they printed out a actual Brandon Hagel, who didn't even play in the game. He was injured. And we were filming people punching Brandon Hagel before the game. So they've brought over a little bit of that craziness to hockey. So I wasn't a big fan of that. I will say I was thinking about Lightning fans, and yeah, some of us are freaking crazy, right? But as far as like classiness goes, I think we're towards the top of the classiness level, because I haven't seen any Lightning fans do anything kind of despicable or anything kind of like, over the edge like that. Not that it was over the edge, but it's like, really, guy? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, I think all the Tampa Bay teams were all pretty classy about stuff. I mean, the Rays fans, we kind of have a woe is me to us, Bucks fans, it's been feast or famine, but like I think we're all relatively classy. Like we don't do anything as a collective group that's too heinous.
I'm trying to think back, and Mishi or Shooter, maybe you guys, didn't one time we have like a car or something of the opposing team and we took sledgehammers to it? I want to say we did that, or maybe it was the Bucks with the Eagles. I remember somewhere there was a car with the opposing teams, and everybody got to like take the sledgehammer.
But that was
and
like a
hit it.
dealership like promotion, wasn't it? That was to get people to like Jerry Ulm GMC or something.
That's funny.
I thought it was like at the arena or at the stadium. Yes, it was a car in 2004 in the playoffs. I thought so. I was like, wait a minute. I remember taking a sledgehammer and beating a car, and I thought it was at Thunder Alley there. And
Team sanctioned though, like that was approved by the team. I don't think the same.
That was pre-Vidic. Before we were classy.
Yeah, we're not throwing batteries though. We're not throwing batteries at Santa Claus. So
And
we have that going for us.
yeah, I mean, has there been altercation in the stands in Tampa? I'm sure, but I would say like for most fans coming to town, like people are pretty nice in Tampa.
Yeah.
And that goes for all the sports here. So
But
I will
do
say,
you like that, Sean? That's your opinion. I do not like it. I don't like that Tampa's known as the classiest fans. Like we used to yell when there was a bad penalty. We used to chant bullshit. Everybody in the whole arena used to chant bullshit. Now it's refs, you suck. I want to go back to bullshit. I want to go when you go to some of the arenas, some of the well-known ones, if you get called a penalty, it's all your fault. It's all your fault. Tampa has nothing like that, and I want Tampa to be known as a hard place to go into, that you're gonna get beat up by the fans, not that we're gonna say, here, take a seat next to me and have some of my popcorn.
I don't know, man. I think, listen, Tampa Bay is a hell of a place to live. It's beautiful here. We're all chill. We all like to party and have a good time. I think we're in a collective, pretty good framework. Schoolie, you want them to drop gloves and go after it, on the ice and the stands and stuff. But I think, especially, we were talking about this a little bit yesterday. We're shooting for TV. The Lightning games now, for better or worse, you're seeing non-fans, everybody, it's the place to be seen. It is literally our place to be seen is at a Lightning game, right? Everybody wants to go there, the influencers, young people, they want to take that Instagram pic more than see a good power play or something. You know what I mean? I think that's great. I think fostering a community where everyone's enjoying themselves is great. But I'm kind of curious how you guys feel about that, being diehard fans. And you were kind of celebrating it yesterday, but now we're on We the Thunder, and I'm kind of curious, when you have people at the games who are just there for the social aspect of it, how do you feel about that?
I mean,
Go ahead, you first.
Somebody's going to pay the bills for this. And they're usually not in 307 where I usually am, or where Schoolie's usually at. They're usually in the mark, sitting next to you, not paying attention.
Yeah, I'll wave up to you guys tomorrow. Or Monday,
Here's what I would say. the Lightning are great at getting those influencers, the celebrities in the building, and you see them always, doing the button for the Lightning and stuff like that. But I have always said I think if they spent more time with the people that do the podcast, the people that do the Facebook groups, those kind of people, because we see what the people want. We hear, we every week we get suggestions. If they just did a roundtable and said, "Hey, what do you guys think would be good with the Lightning?" Having Harry Trotter or whatever their names are come for one game, get his picture, he posts that he's there, and then they give him a jersey and say, "Okay, see ya." And then next week he's at a Kraken game in Seattle doing the same thing. So, it's good for that new fan base that might be a follower of theirs. But then how about these local people? Get these local people involved more.
Sure. I will say this, gentlemen. I will say this. The other day, Dennis Phillips, our meteorologist, everybody knows Dennis Phillips. He's a local hero. Dennis and I are on Thunder Alley, and we're doing kind of a meet and greet with, we have a station tent and stuff like that, meet and greet with fans. And I'm there for about 2 hours. I have never seen so many attractive people at a sporting event as mostly women, very augmented, I think that, walking into a game. My God, it was the most beautiful crowd you've ever seen. You don't see that at other sporting events, I'm not complaining. Dennis wasn't complaining, but I'm like, oh my gosh, like people were dressed up. It wasn't a Friday or Saturday either. This was like a Wednesday game, a Thursday game, something like that. Holy smokes, are those good-looking people? I don't want to send your podcast in a weird direction, but I just thought I should add that my gosh.
You know where you don't see that, Sean? In Buffalo, New York. I'm so sorry. Parka jackets. Maybe it's underneath it, but it's a different vibe, I think, up there.
I went to Syracuse. I don't want to ding too. I mean, Syracuse and Buffalo are pretty far apart, but I don't want to ding too many of my people in New York. But I think you're right. I think you're trying to start stuff, Shooter, with Buffalo. You love the heat. You love the action.
Nah, they're new around here, so we'll see what they can do in the playoffs.
That's
More of that. Speaking of playoffs, we got to pause here. We have to celebrate. So for the folks that are newer, and by the way, we're on the Coastal Sports Digital Network, and for whatever reason, we are not streaming to the Coastal Sports Digital Network. Thanks, EV Mux. That's our streaming service. But hopefully you guys can find us or watch replay. We clinched the playoffs. So one lightning strike since our last show. We do week by week. We do updates. It was Saturday. I was hoping Saturday night, like that game was going to be, hey, win and in. And it was going to be at the beginning of the day, but other teams helped us out. Before we even got to the arena, we clinched and made it to the playoffs. So what we do for the playoffs is after every time we clinch a playoff series, which unfortunately hasn't happened in a while, we do a toast. So if you're new here, you haven't seen us do it in a while. But we've got to do one now because we've made it the playoffs. We've clinched. It's been another great, awesome, fun season. So get your drinks ready. If you're watching out there, get your beer, your drink. It doesn't have to be alcohol. Your diet soda, like Schoolie. There you go. That anonymous cup right there, or whatever's in it, I should say.
Oh, exactly.
But we will cheers here. So raise the drinks. This is to the Tampa Bay Lightning for clinching the playoffs like it's just another weekday, not 16 years of waiting. To the rest,
9 straight year.
Yes, sir.
9 consecutive year.
To the rest of the league, thanks for playing. It's our time once again. And here's to breaking ankles and shattering those other teams' dreams and another deep playoff run on Thunder Alley. Raise them up and go Bolts. We're in the playoffs again.
Go Bolts!
Remote.
By the way, that was whiskey. Good whiskey, though. So
Who knows what's in here, fellas? I'm family entertainment. Let the mystery be,
Kool-Aid. It's Kool-Aid.
Yeah. The Bolts didn't get this far to only get this far. Let's do it.
So I ask everyone that comes on this show for the first time, what is your history with the Tampa Bay Lightning? What is your first ever interaction? I've said mine a couple times. I'll let you know because you haven't heard it. I was in Maryland on a school bus when I was in middle school. And remember the pullover starter jackets? This kid walks in with a Tampa Bay Lightning one in 1992. And I'm like, that's a pretty cool logo. Little did I know, 8 years later, I'd be here. I'd be going to games and following this team religiously. So that's kind of my story. What did you live here when the team started? Did you pay attention?
No. So I was born in Boston, but I rooted for all the Buffalo teams. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was born in Boston and kind of worked my way south. I went to Syracuse, then worked my way south and stuff like that. My two biggest Bolts things that really sucked me in don't necessarily have to do with games, but one, I judged an Epic Chef food competition at the Epicurean Hotel in Tampa. And next to me, we became buddies for the night, was Pat Maroon, the big rig, and we sat there all night, and it was like televised, and we're drinking wine, and neither one of us have any idea about being our culinary expertise. And we're eating, and the mic would come over, and we became buddies, and now we're like Instagram pals and stuff like that. And then I also covered one of the Stanley Cup River, what we call those, the River Celebration, or what is it when they are, right?
The boat parade.
Boat parade.
Yeah, thank you, boat parade. They put me, this is where I rank. So like Dennis Phillips is on some beautiful yacht, covering the boat parade with all the other boats. They put me guys on a tiki bar with a photographer who got seasick. And when you're on a tiki bar and there's all this chop everywhere, and I'm trying to report there's Lightning players everywhere, they're having fun, and this little tiki boat is rocking like crazy. My cameraman's turning green, about to barf. So those are kind of my fun memories. I mean, I've been there a lot of times for, I'm the fun guy, so the Bolts have me all the time. Boop, right there. And so I've been there where, like, when the lights are off, and they're turning on the lights, and all of a sudden it's there. And yeah, I've had some, with all the sports teams, you bring it. When I moved here, and I'm not a Florida native, obviously, but when I moved here, I had all these other allegiances to teams. But then when you start to meet players and you meet staff, and you meet ushers, you meet the Zamboni driver, and you're forming relationships, your allegiances change. And so now I'm a Bolts fan, now I'm a Rays fan, now I'm a Bucks fan. And I have my, of course I follow the other teams, but you can't help and my friends give me all this shit for it, but you can't help but fall in love with these teams, especially when you're getting to know them on a personal level, Shooter, I'm not sure if I answered your question, but there you go. That's my answer anyway.
And I also want to know a little bit about, these segments. Like, you're meeting interesting Bolts fans. One reached out to me and was like, hey, that's so cool you did. And she sent the article and the video and stuff. Kylie, I think was her name, the teacher.
Yeah, Kylie Webster. It's the latest one, the one that ran last week. And then you guys will run tomorrow. So Kylie Webster, this is really cool. And, a lot of times my stories are funny and they're super visual. I played with puppies today, but Kylie was really cool. Kylie is a school psychologist for Hillsborough County Schools, and she's a massive Bolts backer, massive Bolts diehard, right? But she's managed to incorporate the Lightning into her job. So when kids, and these are grade schoolers, come into her office, they see all this, the lightning blue hue, right? And she's trying to set a mood. And so they come in and they're kind of afraid because she's a psychologist. She's probably talking about complicated things, but they start off talking about the Lightning, and they see the blue. They're like, are you a hockey fan? And there's something about that puts them at ease, which is lovely. And at the same time, she has a very stressful job. She's assessing kids on a mental level. And so she wants to cut loose. And so she's a Bolts season ticket holder, There's all walks of life. That's what I love. Whether it's a woman who handles the boa constrictors at the aquarium, whether it's, hey, Schoolie, Schoolie, get off your OnlyFans. Do you know?
I
Do
was
you know?
looking. Kylie Webster is also a member of Thunderbolts.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
double
Hey,
checking there.
Schoolie, do you know the Bolts loving Beagles? Do you know those two Beagles that dress up? They're on Thunder Alley all the time, and they have
Oh.
the
Yes.
Zamboni, Bone, Bone. I did their
Yep.
story too, and I did this little boy with Down syndrome, Brody. I don't know if you know Brody and his mom, Ashley. They're at all the games. And the Lightning, I talked about this with you guys, the Lightning have embraced the autism community and the Down syndrome community with, any team can say, oh, there you go, we love you. But I mean, there is genuine affection for the community coming from the Lightning. And I think both of you guys said this yesterday, that it's real. And you know what? The fans feel it, and the moms feel it. They know what it's like to have these kids with special needs, and when they get this, and all the players pose with Brody, and they stop, and they take time, and he loves Point, and not to get too into it, but they both, Brody and his mom, wear number 21 for Point, but 21 is also trisomy 21, which is Down syndrome. And so they meet Point one day, and Point's like, hey, you're wearing my jersey. And they're like, well, yeah, we love you, but also this represents Down syndrome. And March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day. And he stopped. And he's like, that is so cool. I had no idea my number was, that special to you guys. And he signed it. Anyway, I'm babbling. I don't want to take up all your time. But
The
I'm
Big
telling
Rig, circle back to Big Rig. Big Rig actually, you guys, Serena or Michelle, what was his name? We have a guy that's at most of the games, and his name is lost. I can't remember his name, but Big Rig several years ago ended up making him like the center of everything in the run in the playoffs. And so you always see him dance, and he was on the dance cam. He was back there, and it was really the Big Rig who put him in the forefront. And since then, we have seen more and more where the Lightning have embraced that community. And that was one of the things we talked about yesterday, is that the Lightning always seems to embrace different parts of this community, and they're always on the next forefront of what's coming. And so, Big Rig, I think Ellis, that was his name, Ellis.
He's a dancing machine.
Yeah, he's a dancing machine, and that was all really started by Big Rig, and didn't they win the cup, and Big Rig brought him down there, I believe.
That's awesome.
And so that's when it really became on the forefront, and that's when the Lightning got more involved into the Down syndrome community. So, and sometimes it just takes that player to do that. We saw it in years past with Vinny LeCavier in the Children's Hospital. We've seen it with Ryan Callahan and his foundation. We see it right now with Points by Paul. And that was something that a lot of our local sports team did away with. They didn't really have those players with these charities like we used to have all the time. We used to have it back in the day with the Rays. We used to have it way back with the Bucks. And you haven't really seen that this much in the last last decade. And now you're seeing it more and more grow. And I like to see that with these players who have the ability to speak for these kind of associations. You are on Drew Garabo all the time. Drew Garabo does the Down for Bowl every single year.
I was there this year.
Yeah, so I mean, it's nice to see these people finally using their audiences to start bringing this stuff into the limelight.
Listen, inclusivity means everything. Being seen and having a voice means everything. Like 10, 15 years ago, I remember talking to a guy I worked with at the TV station. His son had Down syndrome, and he says, I have no support here. I have no support in this community. I don't want to turn this into all like weird stuff on We the Thunder, but anyway, I think it's absolutely lovely that the Lightning is so inclusive in a genuine way, and it really gets down to these players are exhausted after a game, and they're still taking the time to give people these personal moments and talk to them and have a conversation. It's not just one-sided. Hey, can we get an autograph? It's a genuine conversation. I think that's great. I think that's lovely.
Yeah, and you hit it in the head. I think it's that genuine experience that they have. Like, it's not like, oh, we have to do this. Like, I mean, they're there for it. The not just the players that, they probably do do this stuff, but they don't act like it, right? Like, they want to do this stuff. And it's front office, it's the ushers, it's the people that work there. I mean, when I really converted, because I was a Caps fan when I moved here, it's what I grew up watching. But when I really converted, I've told this, but it's been a couple of years. I had a broken leg from playing hockey. I get in the elevator because I'm going to the game with my girlfriend at the time. And one of the staff members says, "Where are you sitting?" I'm like 320 something. And she was like, "No, you're not." And gives me tickets for like 115. Guess what? That was the day. That was the day. I was like, this is my team now. Like, these guys take care of me. And back then, nobody was going to games. Like, we had 4 straight. I posted it on Facebook earlier. We had 4 straight 50 loss seasons, which is awful. And back then, they were still doing these types of things. And I really think, I don't want to discredit, but I think when Vinnick took over the team, a lot changed with how this team was operated. And they just do things the right way. Like, I don't feel like the connection that I have with this team with other teams that I follow.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. That's a great story too. Wow. Yeah, I mean, and that's all, those little things matter. Those little things matter. And sometimes that's a difference of bringing people on. And it just seems like all these moments are piling up for the Lightning and Lightning fans. And that's what makes them even more rabid and more loyal, It's great. Wait, how you guys know this? When did ESPN vote them the #1 franchise in sports? That was like a big deal. Remember?
Like, yeah, 2019-ish.
Yeah.
No, it actually might have been earlier than that, but yeah, it was within the last 10 years.
Yeah, that was quite impressive. That was legit.
Yeah, awesome stuff. So, by the way, for the fans that want us to talk about hockey out there, I know you're out there. We're going to talk about this guy because he's making history. Everyone knows who that is now. They played at the arena when he scores or when he gets an assist. But he made history. Cooch made some history. We've lost 2 games in a row. I asked on X or Twitter, whatever we're calling it these days, earlier if the Bolts are cooked and why. So I've got some highlights from people on X and their responses, good or bad. So we'll highlight those. But first, I told you, I warned you, we play a little something called shooter games here. So you are not going to get out of here without playing a shooter game. So I've got a fun one set up. It is not what I told you it would be yesterday, by the way, Schoolie. I've threw the curveball. We've changed the game.
Oh, no.
We have changed the game once again. So
I was trying to make it easy for you, Sean, because
I know. You know what, guys? It's all right. Bring it on.
So what? Why Shooter's getting this up?
Best comment ever, Hira. It is 2 a.m. where I am, and I have no idea what sport the Tampa Bay Lightnings even is.
Lightnings.
Yet here I am.
I like the plural Lightnings.
I love it when people call them the Lightnings. They're a hockey team, bub. Please subscribe and like. All right.
Why Shooter's pulling up this game again? Sean is looking for a date for the Mark on Monday.
Pushing this.
Hit him up on it.
Hit
him up on his Instagram.
Guys, this is
we
really
are trying to pimp him out. And if you want to know, yes, he does put out on the first date.
The well is a little dry these days, guys. I'll tell you. I'll let you in. I reached out to a woman I dated maybe about 2 years ago, and I said, "Hey, how you been? I miss you. You want to go to the Lightning game?" And she's like, "Sean, I have a serious boyfriend for the last 2 years." I'm like, I didn't know. Like, so yeah, it's been a little rough, but that's okay. Someone said if you go on We the Thunder that it's it's a date machine. So here we are.
Sure thing.
We're just full of horny girls around here. Just watch.
Yeah,
I love it. Well, it looks like the Furio 2 is not a woman, so that's not going to work.
And not in this country. If it's 2 a.m.
I love that the Furio is listening. Okay, here we go. Daily hockey slang.
All right, so the daily hockey slang. So what we have collected here is some hockey slang. And Listen, I know you're a big Lightning fan, but you're what we would call a casual, right? You're not at every game
Yeah.
like us. You're not watching every single minute of every single game. We're hardcore. You're in the casual category. So I just want to hear what you think some of these things are. And Scully, I don't think you know what some of these are because this is like beer league on ice. Like this is hockey player slang more than anything. So Sean, you get first dibs on what you think this is. It kind of gets harder as you go.
I feel like that's
Scully,
pretty easy, the first one.
well, it gets harder as you go. I'm not gonna like come right out the gate.
Schoolie, you don't know all the answers though, right? Schoolie goes after me?
No.
Okay.
He always tries to make me look like an idiot in these games.
That's
So,
what everyone
yeah,
thinks.
you'll look smart. I'll look dumb as fuck.
Well, I wouldn't piss you off because you obviously murdered Thunderbug behind you there, so you actually have anger. Okay, a celly is a celebration, guys. It's a celebration.
Hold on, let's get the sound effects going here. I know we got some here.
I have another head here too, so I collect heads.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Schoolie
All right.
never needs a date for the game because he's got plenty of cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, he just brings his severed head. Oh, hey,
Don't ask where
Serena.
the holes are in those cutouts.
All right, one for how many are there? How many do I have to go through? What's this gauntlet?
We got about 10, so you got it. Celebration for following a goal, right? So Selly, bam, nailed that one. A little bit harder.
Ooh.
The apple. Do we know what the
Oh.
apple is?
I
Yes.
really want to do well. The apple. Let me see if somebody on Facebook. Let me stall here. Serena, you got an answer for me on there? Help me out, Serena. Apple is when you get the puck between the goalie's legs.
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, apple is a assist. Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, apple is.
Does everybody know that?
Hardcore, yeah, casual.
Oh, thanks, Mishy. Thanks, Mishy.
You gotta
Okay.
remember, they are on a little bit of a delay with the stream, so you're not
I don't
getting
wanna
much
hear
help.
that crap.
You're not getting much help from. They're the.
Oh, thanks, Serena. Here we go. All right, everybody.
All right, next one. And remember, it gets harder.
It's
Pillows.
already hard. Pillows. Those aren't pillows. Pillows are. I feel like goalie pads. Goalie pads are pillows. Yes. Yes.
Beautiful. There you go. That was a little bit hard. That's good. I'm impressed. See, now you're thinking. Now you're using that big Sean Daly brain.
It rarely ever happens.
All right, I think this one's easy too. Chiclets.
Oh, chiclets are. I'm gonna say teeth, but teeth have been knocked out, right?
Yeah.
Technically, really, we're just talking teeth. Yeah, chiclets.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know what a chirp is?
Well, I know what my daughters. I'm a single girl dad. To
She's
chirp
chirping at you?
is somebody's chirping. Is it the same chirp though when you're giving shit to another player? Would that be a chirp?
Yep.
Yeah.
See,
All right, trash
see,
talk, yeah.
not bad. You're getting most of them.
Shooter, I love you. I'm a We the Thunder fan now. Okay. I feel like I can flame out.
It's not over.
Oh, well, the biscuit's a puck, right? The biscuit's the puck.
Biscuit in the basket.
There we go.
The
Yeah.
puck. All right. What about a little lip lettuce?
Lip lettuce. Oh, let me think about this.
about
You originally told me in pre-show that you can be funny about it, but now I really want to get these correct.
Remember what the name of the guy that's no longer on the show called?
Oh, that's why I say it. Could it be a mustache?
Damn.
Lip lettuce. Now,
Holy.
let me ask: Is that an exclusive hockey term, or is lip lettuce just a beer league fun?
Yes,
thing?
because lettuce is hair, and then lip lettuce would be hair on your lips. So in
Oh.
hockey, they call your hair lettuce. So if you have like a good flow going, they'll say, "I like your lettuce."
Can I say that this is a fantastic game too? You're a very clever producer there, Shooter.
You know, I do it all. I host, I produce, I do it all.
Yeah.
Schoolie just shows up, turns his nasty looking camera on with Jurgensen juice all over it.
Listen, I find the people. I find the people.
He's a people person. All right, next up, a little harder. Duster.
Ooh. A duster. I'm gonna say a duster is a slap shot.
Scully, you got a you know what a duster is?
Yes, it's person that sits on the bench.
Oh, that guy. I love the explanations too. This is great. And the graphics are awesome. I love this.
Collects dust on the bench.
Duster.
The way to tell like if we were really prepared for the show is like how busy was I on Tuesday nights? The production value goes up if we don't have a game that I'm at usually. All right,
That's
two
correct.
more here. Yard sale.
A yard sale is when they pull the goalie.
No, when they're fighting and all the
Hold on, say it again.
when they're fighting, all the equipment's on the ice.
There you go.
Oh,
Long
that is great. It's a yard sale out there. Oh man, that's awesome. I'm
Last
really
one.
enjoying this. I love learning too, guys.
The last one,
Ooh.
a flamingo. I don't know if Scully's even gonna know this one.
Let me think about this. A flamingo. So let's say a flamingo would be on one leg. A flamingo is an injured player who twists an ankle but is still skating.
Scully?
Well, it would be Ryan McDonough. It's when you block a shot, right, with one leg.
You got it.
Oh man. Oh wait, hold on.
It's technically not to block a shot. It's because you're getting away. Like you don't want to be a flamingo.
okay.
Your goalie's going to get mad at you. There are no flamingos on the Tampa Bay Lightning. Let's just leave it at that.
This
That's
is great.
man. You performed pretty honorably at this game. I mean, it
You
wasn't.
guys, you wouldn't say that if the story already ran. Like you're just being nice to me because I still got to edit your story. But
It's true. You do have to do a little editing after.
I'm gonna get the least flattered. No, that was great. I did way better than I thought. I had anxiety about the original game. I would have been shit, but that was really fun, and I learned some fun words.
So next
Tomorrow, the story's going to say, here is Tampa Bay Lightning's worst podcast.
No. I hype you guys up. It's great. And
These guys don't know shit.
And here's a little teaser for tomorrow's story on these fellas. I spent about an hour and a half editing the first 25 seconds of that. So that's a little tease for you. It's great because shout out to Tony Jacobson, our photographer, who's fantastic and got all these really cool cutaway shots. I didn't even know I was running my mouth, and he was really working. So at least one of us was, you know. So, yeah, it's great.
If everybody wants to know if this is what Sean is like behind the camera, the answer is yes. He truly is like this. Like we had a fun time over at Shooter's house yesterday, and I swear the time that we spent there, only like 10 to 15 minutes of it got recorded. But we were just shooting the shit. We were just talking about different things. And this is Sean. And like Sean said, I had the privilege of meeting him a couple years ago in Thunder Alley, and we did a story on Thunderbolts then. And it's same thing. It's not a show. It's not a different person. He's always on the radio with Drew Garabo. You'll catch him on there. You'll catch him on ABC News. He's the same guy, whether it's on camera, off camera. It's the same guy, no matter what.
That's really nice, Schoolie. I appreciate it. And I thought we really clicked yesterday, and it was a lot of fun. I think that came out hopefully in the podcast, and it'll come out on the story on Tampa Bay 28. So you guys are great.
The pressure's on you now. Go hit the editing bay and make us look good, okay?
I absolutely promise. Hey guys, congratulations on all your success. I know 250 is the next show, right? You got 250 is it? That's great.
So I can't jinx it because here's the thing. It's at a weird time in the season where the season ends for us on Wednesday, which is normally when we do our show. The rest of the season ends for the NHL by Thursday. So like by Thursday night, Friday, we're figuring out the schedule for the playoffs and all this. And I've been talking with some people about like, hey, can you come on? And it's all kind of in flux to like, we don't know what's happening. So let me tease this and hopefully I don't jinx it. We are planning on going live on Friday next week and having a recent former Lightning player and very possibly a Tampa Bay Lightning legend.
Oh wow. Well, that's a hell of a tease. I love it. I'll be watching too, guys. Hey, listen, I know everybody wants to hear you talk about real hockey, so I'm going to duck out. Thank you so incredibly much for having me.
Yes, thank you.
I'll keep you posted on my date too.
All right, yeah.
Let us know.
Play-by-play for our next show on the Mark with Sean Daly. See if you leave your mark.
Thanks, guys.
All right, thanks,
you,
man. That is Sean Daly, Tampa Bay 28. We'll leave him. We'll let him go with a little. All right, now we got to get down to business because we've got fans losing their mind over losing 2 games in a row. I think they forgot we already clinched the playoffs. We have a scenario here, and actually, let's go to the screen here and share again because it is freaking crazy right now with what we're looking at for the playoffs here. So let me pull this up. Give me a second. We gotta do some on the fly editing here.
Just hey Michelle, you might be a happy little schoolgirl.
Wait, what? What just happened?
Something Michelle said over there in the comments.
Okay, let's flip it over to the screen share. Oh, Thomas Schooley's gone.
What?
Where'd you go? There you go. All right, so here's the standings right now. Right, there's some games going on, probably ending soon. I don't know if Buffalo or Montreal is playing. All 3 of these teams are in, and it is a deadlock at 102 points. All the teams have 4 games left. I will stand by what I said a couple weeks ago, and I will add one more name to the mix. The person, the coach that should win Coach of the Year.
Real quick, the Sabres are losing 3-2 against the Rangers. Capitals are beating Maple Leafs. That don't matter. So Buffalo is the only one that's really playing tonight, and the Rangers have been the one that's been helping Tampa the most. They're the ones that beat Detroit, that let us in, that got us in before we actually won it ourselves. It was the Rangers that beat Detroit.
Well, the problem is we have to play them too, and they're playing really good. But so are all these teams that we're playing lately. But I mean, here's what I was going to say, and I said it a couple weeks ago. Coach of the Year should go to who wins this division, and I'll throw the third name in there. We know him well, Marty St. Louis.
Yep,
your hat in the ring, and I stand by that. If you win this division, you deserve to win the Jack Adams.
Yeah, it's been such a early in the season. I was like 100% Coop. Then I'm like, okay, Lindy Ruff. Then it's, wow, look at Montreal. Marty St. Louis, someone who last year we were just talking to, was it Wall? I think it was Wall who we were talking to, saying it looks like he's about to be canned. And Wall's like, I really hope not. And then all of a sudden they got a sniff of the playoffs last year. Looks like this year they can make a deeper run in the playoffs. And
we're the hottest team right now. If you're going to be hot, like now's the time. I mean, that's the one thing. Did we peak too early?
Although this was from Eric Erelson today, and I made sure to screenshot it because Eric is obviously the best, the Lightning insider, Eric Erelson. So someone said, Eric, you followed the team as long as I have. You can't sit there and say we done well while walking into the playoffs instead of galloping. But go ahead and quote this too, bud. So Eric says, okay, I will. 2004, the last 11, we went 5-5-1 in the final 11, won the cup. 2011 went 7-1 and in the final 8, fell behind 3-1 to Pittsburgh, but reached the ECF. 2014 went 7-3, got swept in the first. 2016 went 3-5, reached the ECF. 2018 went 3-4-1, reached the ECF. 2019 went 11-3, got swept in the first round. 2025 went 7-2-3, lost in 5. And I think if you go back to every year that we've been doing this, they always go into the playoffs in a loss.
Oh yeah, 100%. I actually took a look at that, specifically our 3-year run of making it to the Stanley Cup final. So here's some cool stats for you. And I know 2020 COVID year, we actually got in 70 games. Remember, COVID didn't happen until March. So 70 games, 92 points, finished second in the division. The last 10 games, we were 3-6-1. Finished the season on a 2-game losing streak. Did pretty well, won a cup pretty easily. 2021, shortened season, COVID, thanks again. 56 games, 75 points. We finished third in our division. We finished the season on a 3-game losing streak. 2022, full season, 82 games, 110 points, pretty good season. We were third in the division that year. Made it to the finals, maybe a couple players short of winning a Stanley Cup. Like, these games, and trust me, I get as mad as you watching the Senators roll over us and the way that sometimes it just doesn't look like these guys are trying. Trust me, they're trying to win these games. But the teams that we're playing are maybe not the Sabres because they were already in, but like Ottawa's got to win. Ottawa has to win. They're in the playoffs right now. Right? So tomorrow's game against Montreal will be very interesting. And said about Monday's game, but Thursday's game, tomorrow might be the game that actually decides who's going to win this division. It's going to come down to the wire here. And does it really matter who wins the division? No. Doesn't.
Well, the one that's going to win the division is going to win the trophy of not having to play the two that didn't.
That's true. But you also are getting the team that sneaks into the playoffs that might be a little bit hotter. Although at this point, I think a lot of Lightning fans will say, hey, we'll take Boston any day. If it shakes out that Boston is the team. Because I think Carolina, I don't think they clinched it yet, but I think Carolina's a lot to win the East.
They did. They won it yesterday.
All right. So it's winning the division, getting second seed essentially. Or we're 2 and 3. I think we're going to finish second or third. I think we'll finish second or third, and we'll see what happens. Good news that Buffalo's losing tonight. And that that history of this team is what pisses me off about like Sabres fans. Like you've had one good season, and I think their team's great. Like I think they've got a lot of young players and a bright future. But I mean, don't tell us about hockey. Like we've been through it in the last 12 years alone. We've been through it. And that's just the last 12 years. Like we've been at the very top this close a couple times. Heartbreak in the Eastern Conference Finals, like winning the Eastern Conference Finals and then losing to Pittsburgh, losing to the Caps, seeing those teams go on to win it. When, we had a team that was good enough to win cups those years, but just couldn't get over the hump. And the thing that I always remind myself this time of year is only one team wins it. And there's a lot of factors, injuries are one of them, that comes into, what happens and who wins this. But at the end of the day, only one team wins it, and it's not easy. And sure, we might win it. We might make a good run. We might lose in the first round. So that's a perfect segue into what I asked on Twitter earlier today. Are the Bolts cooked? Are they a first round, 1 and out team again? So I took some comments. This is the first time we've kind of done something like this. Featured some tweets on the show. Good and bad. We took them all. No judgment zone here, but everyone's got their opinion. Maybe we will judge a little bit, but we'll go through a couple. So C.Goins, Charlie. This guy's been following us for a long time, so thank you, Charlie. I think we easily get to the cup final, shocking everyone but me. That's a diehard fan. Like he's not worried at all. And some of the comments that I heard, I forget who, it doesn't seem like the Bolts are worried at all. Like they lost 2 games. They know they didn't really matter in the grand scheme of things.
You know what though? Something I did notice this year that's different than other years is Koopas came out in previous years and said, "Oh, it doesn't matter where we finish. We're not playing for that." This year, it seems like he's playing to win this division. It's like he wants the highest seed. in years past, remember we've criticized how he was just like, we finished where we finished. All that matters is we get in, and then once we got in, it kind of was a lackadaisy thing. But this year, it really seems like Coop is wanting to win every single game, pulling the goalie in two different games on the power play. Of course, it hasn't worked in our favor, but it really seems like he is genuinely wanting to win this division this year. And instead of just saying, we're going to go where we go, it seems like he's going, we're going to play till the last game.
Well, he did make a comment, and Debbie mentioned this to me earlier today about, like, listen, we just need the X, right? But I think you're right. He is trying to win these games, and we know he listens to the show. So maybe it's because what we said about, like, hey, you win this division, you win that trophy. You know he wants to win it. You know he's got a chip on his shoulder to win that because he's deserved to win it.
Right.
All right, let's keep going. Kim, we know Kim. Kimber86, listener. All these negative Nellies, I think we definitely get out of round one. The playoffs are a different animal than the regular season. That's what I'm talking about. That's, I think, what these Buffalo fans don't understand. Montreal got a taste of it last year, so they scare me more. Buffalo, these guys, I mean, sure, they've got some vets on that team that have played playoff games. The core main guys on this team, I don't know if they're ready for the playoffs. Do they have enough in the tank to keep going and playing at the rate that they're playing? Kevin at Divided by Fools gave us the bullet points here. He numbered it 1, 2, and 3. Again, why do you think the Bolts are not going to make it out of the first round? Same talent as previous years. Don't agree with that. I think this team's got some of the same players, but it's a different team this year. Newer players that haven't won the Stanley Cup. Undisciplined. Tampa Bay didn't get tougher; they got cheaper. I don't agree with that too. I think we definitely are a tougher team this year.
The fact that it says reflection of Cooper, who's this guy a fan of? Because if you're going to do a reflection of Cooper, the winningest coach in Tampa Bay Lightning history, the most tenured coach in the NHL, 2 Stanley Cups, 4 Stanley Cup Finals. So the reflection of Coop is pretty good. I think if you ask a lot of head coaches around there if they would like to be a reflection of Cooper, they would be like, hell yes. So, it's kind of stupid that they wrote that.
Toughness, I noticed right away in the preseason, the Florida games, like, oh, this team's not backing down. Like, they're making a statement against the Panthers, and that bled throughout the entire season. We've got the most penalties, the most majors, the most fights.
And he says that in the third one. They spend way too much time worrying about Florida. Take care of your own house first. I think that was the problem with this house. I think you got to remember when we won these Stanley Cups, we had Pat Maroon, we had Mikhail Sergachev, who would throw hands. It's not that the Lightning got rid of the fighting last year, but they did. We talked about it. They had that little toughness, the grit that they didn't have. Hagel, look at Hagel this year. Look at Jake this year, Point this year, Cooch this year. Everybody is sticking up for themselves and others. Destuve's got some of the big penalty minutes this year. It's so to say this, that same talent as previous year, it's not. It's definitely not the same talent we had. No Hedman. I'd imagine Hagel returns for the playoffs. They did send Dylan Duke back to Syracuse today, so I don't know if that's Hagel, coming back or Severon coming back.
Sorelli. Sorelli is also on that list.
Was Sorelli out too?
Sorelli's been out the last 2 games.
Oh, didn't even realize.
We catch up. A lot of injuries.
Sorry.
All right, keep going here. Bolts Sheep at Bolts Sheep. The only concern I have is their susceptibility to the odd man rush. He's not wrong, especially lately. that's just bad structure on defense and bad neutral zone play. You play someone like Buffalo, who's very quick, good point, and and they get those chance all series. You really are hanging Vasi out to dry. Outside of that, Bolton 6. I'm still a believer that we'll make it to the second round. But
I noticed that in Montreal, Buffalo, and there was another game, Ottawa, that they are taking the quick shot, and that is what's beating Vasi. I think I mentioned it last week on the show.
And we don't do that. We hesitate. We wait till the goalie gets set up. We wait till the defense gets set up. Like, get the puck and shoot it. Put it on the net.
But it seems like that is what now the scouting is to get it past Vasi. Because
Scout for every goalie.
That's true. But they are really doing this to Vasi, and some of those last couple games, these goals that have went in are just those quick shots.
All right, next up, Holly Beach at Big Paul FLA hit Hagel. He gets injured. Sorelli, always injured. James injured. Crozier injured. Holmberg injured. We get to Holmberg after this. Point having a very off year. This came up several times. People are not wrong about that. Defense is weak. I don't agree with that. Perry is old and slow. I'm not disagreeing with that, but there you go. I mean, that's people's opinions, and they're not wrong on a lot of those things. Nick Tanner at Mizzle _Rizzle, because we lack that killer instinct. I'd like to talk about that kind of stuff, and I agree with it. I don't know if this team has it. In 2021, these boys refused to lose. It was easy. It was easy when we were winning cups. Like, did you feel like we were even going to lose any of those games? Because I didn't. Like, we were just dominating, especially 2020. Down 2-0 against the Rangers, win 4 in a row. We're never out of it. It now feels like if things go left, they just accept it. No fight, no nothing. Disagree with that. Almost like, here we go again with an eye roll. My 2 cents. Not wrong on some of those things. This one just doesn't make any sense. Our Swiss cheese of a backup goalie is a big factor. Listen, if our backup goalie plays any playoff games, we're cooked.
Yeah. Yes.
Reasons they won't. Again, I like Bolts fans, really structured here. 1, 2, 3. Vasi plays ordinary. Most important player must be at his best. 100% agree with that. If we win the cup, Vasi's going to be the Conn Smythe winner. Absolute refusal to shoot the puck. Oh my God, it drives me nuts. 4 or 5 open looks last night turned into nothing after a wayward pass. God, that is a problem. That's a problem as old as this franchise.
Yeah.
And a lot of fans of other teams are going to say the same thing. It feels like we do a lot, though. Lack of team speed. Yeah, it's been noticeable in the last month. We're slower than other teams. We weren't, though. We didn't seem slower than other teams during that long streak, though. So I don't know if these guys are running out of gas, or maybe they're just holding on to it. They're saving it for game 1. Jimmy Hayden, not a good feeling limping into the playoffs. That might be the biggest problem, all these injuries, especially with so many teams in the East on hot streaks going into the playoffs. Buffalo's been on a hot streak for a couple months. Montreal and Philly are on absolute heaters right now. And then finally, this is why you got to love the internet. Fear not, playoff Paul is currently thawing out. I hope so, because I've been waiting for this guy to do something all season, or at least since he's been back. But he did score last night, right? Was that last night or the night before? Anyway, Nick Paul did score. Thank God. We do need Nick Paul. We need everyone participating in the playoffs, and that is why this was such a horrible moment. If there's one thing we've had all season, it's been the injuries, but there's been one consistent line all season, and I'm worried that he might not be back.
Yeah, I bet it has been announced, but I think he's down at least the first round.
I mean, that's a separated shoulder at least. So this picture shows it a lot better than I think most of the video, because I didn't notice anything until Cooper's comments, where he essentially said somebody should get fired for this, and somebody should get fired for this. You have a handful of jobs when you are the official sitting in that box. Trust me, I know. I want that job someday. But how do you not have this door closed? That's dangerous, clearly for anyone that's on the ice. I realized that the penalty was about to be over, but it wasn't yet. This guy should be fired, 100%. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. No, yeah, like when you saw it live and then you saw the replay and the replay, you couldn't tell it was cracked. And then the still shots started coming and it's like, oh wow. Yeah, it was a jarred open. Um then what's worse is why Holmberg is laying there. He finishes opening the door, and the player just steps like basically over him. It's like, excuse me, I'm trying to get out of the box. So Coop, if Coop says he should be fired, then obviously, you know, the split second. I mean, I know the people in our penalty box at the benchmark, and so could this be? You got that human factor, and they weren't coming right towards it when he was starting to ajar it, and had they kept the player in there one extra second, Buffalo fans, same as Lightning fans would be like, let him out, let him out. So it's kind of like it's a little catch 22. Like, I don't know, but if Coop honestly thinks that this was, Coop wouldn't say this if he didn't believe that this is not normal. So I would say he's
Well,
got
I
to get
mean,
fired.
it wasn't intentional, but still,
Right.
like, I mean, this is a huge
And
part.
for all these people saying, oh, they were just helping Buffalo, these are hired by the NHL.
Yeah.
They are not hired by Buffalo. They are not hired by Benchmark. These are people that work for the NHL.
And then the other part of it is like, I mean, it was an awkward spill into the boards anyway. So does he get hurt either way?
Right.
But still, I don't think it helps that you've got that just super awkward. Like, his shoulder hits right where the corner is. So that, I
Right.
guess,
You see where it's open is where he hits it.
yeah,
Yeah.
that hitting you like this versus hitting you like this
Yeah.
is the difference. I think he gets hurt either way, but maybe that's the difference between a broken bone and a bruised shoulder, you know? So it sucks. I mean, the guy's had a good season. Hopefully Dominic James, who's been skating, can come back and maybe play center on that line. I know Yanni's been playing center, but I like Dominic James better at center with his speed. So it seems like James is on track. He was out there skating, practicing. Maybe the silver lining is he kind of comes in and takes that over that third line. And I think he can add a little bit more of the scoring, which is kind of what we've been asking more of from this line. So, and speaking of scoring, Jorgensen, or sorry, what am I thinking of I'm thinking of your lotion there. Jorgensen is, he finally scored that 100th goal.
He did.
Finally. So let's recap real quick. I want to get out of here soon, but let's recap real quick. The game 6-3 win versus Pittsburgh. Anthony Cirelli, who's been injured since, with the hat trick. That is the game where Gergensen scored his 100th goal. Bolts reach 100 points. Really good game. Pittsburgh's a playoff team. They had our number the last game that we played. Actually, not the last game. It was the game where Cooch, home game where Cooch tied it up, and then it was a hand pass, the whole controversy thing.
Yeah.
3 points for Cooch, including that very fancy goal that people liked where he just turned around and put the puck on net from an odd angle. What do you know? Sometimes it goes in. Look how Buffalo scored some of their goals the other night. A nice win at home, 6-3 versus the Penguins. Bruins on Saturday, 3-1 win. We mentioned this earlier. We clinched before the game even started, so it was a big celebration all game. But we were down 1-0 all game. And then guess who did it again? 2 Saturdays in a row, Thomas. Remember, I Kids Day, I called 4-2 with my daughter. I was sitting with a bunch of people in my row that I went to the game with. and it was 1-0 going into the third period. I said, "Watch, we win 3-1." 3-goal third period. I gotta start betting on these games, man. DeStew, Ratty, and Cooch, and this was the big game for Ratty. Becomes the top goal scorer for the Tampa Bay Lightning in a season for a D-man. 21 goals, takes over Dan Boyle and Victor Hedman, who were at 20. Dan Boyle had that record for 20-something years. Hedman had it during the Cup run. But what a season for this guy. It's very upsetting that he's still not re-signed. And I think you got to re-sign a guy who just shattered the record for goals for defensemen.
And was the Lightning's nomination today for the Masterson's Trophy for everything that he has gone through this year with his dad, being benched last season a lot, being benched some of the season, coming back, being now holding the record. So he is the Lightning's Masterson Trophy nominee.
He deserves it. Sign the guy. Come on, JBB. The weirdest thing happened in this game. The refs, speaking of the refs and officials screwing us lately, the refs gave the Bruins somehow extra power play time. Once again, it's not really the refs' fault, although they should be on top of stuff like this. But something with the clock, and Bruins just got an extra like 30+ seconds of power play time. And then it was like a 5-minute delay in the game. And okay, let's move on. Like, I mean, how do you fix that? If they scored, they would have looked at the time and I would hope they would have taken it off. But I'm like, come on, what kind of amateur hour is this, NHL? I don't get it. How are we screwing stuff up that is so simple? Like, you're a timekeeper, don't fuck up the one job you have. You're the guy that opens the gate in the penalty box, don't fuck up the one job you have.
And time is kept everywhere. There's backups to the backups to the, there's always someone checking. And it's ridiculous how things like these happen. And then it's just like, oh, it happened.
Yeah. And then on to the back-to-back Monday Dingus Day, whatever the hell that is. 4-2, Buffalo wins. We're just chasing this game the whole time. Tooch scored first. A bunch of their players who had not scored goals on cold streaks had the game of their season. And then, of course, Holmberg got injured. It just seemed like in this game, Buffalo wanted to win this game more. And they did. They won it 4-2. And then 6-2 versus Ottawa. It was a close game till the end. But again, we're chasing the whole time. Special teams was not good. Special teams has not been good from
again, no Sorelli, no Hagel, who those two are 2/3 of a line. So, and your PK and your power play. I mean, that affect everything. And then Holmberg, who it's just, and of course, Buffalo fans were like, oh, they're holding up Hagel because they're scared to play him against us. He whooped Darlene's ass. He ain't scared of nobody. Like,
you forget what happened, because Darlene not only cross-checked but cup-checked Hagel on that play, and then Hagel said, "Let's go," and Darlene runs away from him. So, good.
And then Hagel said, "No, you're not going anywhere. Come here, let me whoop your ass."
Answer the bell, bitch. All right. So anyway, tough game. Chernak, I love the guy, but he had a rough game. Game in Ottawa. And then, I'm getting all excited. We got Duke up. We've got Geeky back. And again, completely irrelevant, that game. Completely irrelevant. Like, you get a chance to come up and listen. These guys are young. They're going to get a chance. I believe in all of them. I know you don't. I'm talking about your geeky comments. Season. But when you get the chance where it's going to be 1 or 2 games, you gotta freaking make it happen, man. So it sucks that they were just too invisible in that game for my liking.
And I was listening to it on the radio, and then there was 2 points of this. Number one, first it was Big Rig on the radio there with Mish. But freshest legs on the Tampa Bay Lightning. They should be fast. They should be on there a lot. They should be really hyped up. Hey, let's do this because it's back-to-back games. None of them played the night before. But then on the backside of that, the rest of the team doesn't catch up to them. You know, they're just three, but you have two more guys on that line who did play the night before and are slower back and not as fast. So it's a little catch 22, but we should have saw more from them. I thought in the first period you saw a little bit of them and they looked like they were the fast, fresh guys, the younger guys, and then all of a sudden they just disappeared. Yeah.
Disappointing. I still believe in you, Crunch Boys, though. I think we're going to get a couple of you guys up in the playoffs, and you're going to have a little bit of chance to play. But man, when you get in there, you gotta make your mark. I want to share this real quick because I just think the officiating has been horrible. It seems like they've been against us for most of the season, and it doesn't matter. Like the stuff we're looking at doesn't matter. I just wanted to like check myself on like, are we really getting that screwed by the refs? If you look like, yeah, we kind of are, but I mean, maybe we're committing more of these penalties but I'm also like, well, the other side is like, I feel like they're missing calls pretty occasionally on the other teams too. Right. But it wasn't as drastic as I thought. Right. So
it's only a 4 difference there.
Yeah. I was expecting it to be a lot more. It was more even than I thought. The more concerning part is we only had 1 power play goal this week, and we had how many chances?
11.
1 for 11, and before that, you don't want to see either. The power play. Talk about if we're cooked in the playoffs. If we can't score on the power play, we are cooked in the playoffs. You have to make teams pay. For making mistakes in the playoffs. So I don't know. I was looking at that last night too. You can tell I was bored last night. And then let's wrap it up here. A couple things around the league. We talked about Torts getting hired last week. Vegas 4-0, first place. I guess that's working out.
Yeah. Yeah, and now you've seen that kind of panic in all the teams with GMs being fired. Another coach went down.
I don't remember like the end of this late in the season, this stuff happening so often.
No, I think it's everybody's trying to get that to talk to that next coach real quick. Ron Francis announced today he's stepping down as the Kraken's president. So, I think it's when they talked about Torts, they said he was still under contract with Philly and they had to get permission. I think all these, and DeBear, I think, even though he was fired, I think he still had rights because Dallas was still paying him. So they had to, and I think these teams are like, I got to fire these people so that I can ask to talk to them and be the first one to offer them a contract and get this and get this. And I saw the comment that if Detroit gets bounced early, they want Steve Yzerman out of Detroit. And then it's like New Jersey seems to be saying, hey, Yzerman, Detroit doesn't want you and we'll take you. So it's to hurry up and get first on that list and start talking to these guys. And I think I can't believe it's happening to teams in the playoffs. The Islanders getting rid of Patrick Wall. I mean, it's hard to believe that it's these teams going into the playoffs. Usually it's teams that are already out. But here they go.
I get the GM thing because you're out like, all right, let's make changes. President of hockey ops, same thing. It's the coaches that is just bizarre. Like Torts is going to get credit for that team probably winning the Pacific by coaching 6 games.
Okay. And doesn't have a contract past this year. He's still a free agent at the end of this year. So Vegas should be like, okay, let's sign you for next year. Let's go ahead and do that. And if we decided we don't want you, we're going to go ahead and pay you $5 million for next year. Because let me tell you, he takes them any further into these playoffs, and it's going to be a lot more than $5 million for them next year. And they can't make an excuse to say, well, we're not retaining Tortorella.
Yeah, it's weird. And I'm wondering how much it goes back to the Oilers coach, which was not at the end of the season. It was more in the middle of the season, takes over, brings them to the Cup finals. I don't know. There is something about, and I think that's why you see so much turnover in the NHL. Like, you do see a lot of new coaches come in, give the team that spark to start winning games again. And maybe that's the strategy. Let's get that spark going right before the playoffs, because this is when we need to win the games. All right. I know we've kind of talked about this, but we're down to the last couple games here. Who do you want? Make your decision. Who do you want in the first round?
Boston.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. I'll take Boston. In that first round as a warm-up for us. I think we match up against them really well. And it's interesting because Boston matches up against Buffalo for some reason really well this season. But that's the best case scenario for the Bolts, and to do that, I think they got to win the division most likely. So we'll see what it comes down to here in the next week. And then again, we have our 250th episode. Think about all the time we wasted doing this show. Imagine what we could have done in that time, like curing cancer and curing male pattern baldness. Which, by the way, how's that still a thing? Flying to the moon and not stopping there, just going around it. We could have done it all, Schoolie, but we decided that we are going to be here with you guys for at least an hour every single week during the playoff, or during the regular season and after every playoff game. So it's been a good run, and we'll do a little bit of reflecting next week, but not much, because we're going to know who we're playing. We're hopefully going to get a better idea of who's injured and who's going to be able to play. And now is what we wait all season for. This is the second season, and we're in. So that's step one.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun ride, I think, this year. I think this team's different than before. This team, I think, is showing. I think they remind me of the 2020 team, that they have something to prove, and with all the injuries, with all the naysayers, with all they can't get past Florida, and now Florida's not even in there. They can't get past Toronto. There's no Toronto in there. So, on top of the year where you had such a high of the outdoor game, it seems like it is lining up for them like it did in 2020, like it did in 2021. So it's going to be a fun ride.
Yeah, I hope so. I do think we are a team poised for a deep run in the playoffs. And remember, like we said before, 2020, pretty good playoff year for us, 3-game losing streak. 2022 or 2021, again, 2-game losing streak at the end of the season. We see this team kind of dip off towards the end of the season, and I think they know, does not matter if we. And, well, I guess it does kind of matter with it this tight. But really, it doesn't matter if we beat Montreal. It depends on how much this team wants to have that home ice advantage, which we've been relatively a pretty good road team. And in the playoffs, it's a whole different world in the playoffs. So I don't know. Let's just get there. Fast forward to next week.
Yeah. Let's next Friday, guys, not next Wednesday. Next Friday, we'll be live next Friday.
Time to be determined. And then after every playoff game, until we hoist that cup, or until we're crying into our little tiny shot glass. I will fill this up with tears if we lose in the first round. But yeah, thank you guys for coming along on the ride with us. We'll see you for 250. Hopefully some exciting announcements on that, to be honest with you. it'll be last minute when you hear it. So wait till Friday. If we do end up going early at a stranger time than normal, because usually we're like 7, 8, 9, we will stitch together what we do and you'll see the video later. So we just got to make sure if we can get a really good guest or two, we take them when we can get them.
Yeah.
So
don't forget, guys, you can get a date with Sean Daly to the Mark on Monday. Go to his Instagram, be his date for the Mark. He's a great guy. He's really funny. It'll be nothing but a fun date at the least. And then there was one more thing I was going to say, but now I can't remember. So it couldn't have been too important.
well, let's pretend like we're done. All right, we're done now. Good show, Schoolie. Like, now's when you-
Yeah, no, it was. I can't remember what it was.
How
It
about-
was something important too. But
apparently.
no.
Well, remember this. This has been We the Thunder. Don't forget to be the Thunder.
That's it?
Yeah.